Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Steph Koza, welcome to my channel, and today we're talking about Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is the next installment in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one step closer to Endgame. The closer we get, the more excited I am. And this movie has a lot of hype around it, like I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's talking about it in one way or another, and it's one of the most anticipated films of this year, so I was very excited to see it, very excited to review it right now. Let's get into it. So the movie is about Captain Marvel, obviously, aka Carol Danvers. She is a Kree, which is like a space warrior, soldier, police officer. But she also has some sort of weird human backstory where her memory was wiped, and the movie is basically about her and her Kree companions hunting down the Skrulls, which are these alien shapeshifter things, and so she's trying to rid the planet Earth of the Skrulls. So that's the gist of it. It's pretty fun, and I enjoyed the Skrulls. I thought they were going to be like your standard cookie-cutter evil alien race of just like weird monster people, but they were complex, they were interesting. I enjoyed them a lot more than I thought that they would. I thought they were represented really well. We also get a lot of Nick Fury in this movie. It's kind of like a buddy cop movie with Nick Fury and Carol Danvers, which is sort of fun. I enjoyed spending a lot of time with Nick Fury because over all of the years of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we've really only seen a small glimpse of him, so it was kind of cool to see him at the forefront. However, I think he was a little bit too quirky and silly and kind of stupid at times, and I was like, this character is fun, but this is not Nick Fury. This is not the Nick Fury that I know. This is weird. But Sam Jackson did a great job with the part regardless because he's Sam Jackson and he can do no wrong. I was also very impressed with the CGI that they did to make him look younger because I really didn't even realize there was CGI in the movie. I was just like, that's Sam Jackson. That's what he looks like. So that was cool. Props to the people that did that. I also really enjoyed Carol Danvers more than I thought that I would. I think in the trailers, she was portrayed as being very harsh and stoic and having no personality at all. And in the movie, she did have a personality. Why wasn't that in the trailer? That would have been cool. Wouldn't have had all these internet arguments about why she is a robot. However, she was still not that great. I think she was better than she was in the trailer. She had a personality. She was sassy. She was witty. She was kind of funny. She was really cute. She definitely had a personality. Like, she was a person. But I think she still wasn't as complex as she should have been. She doesn't really have a huge emotional range, and that kind of dehumanizes her a bit. She's a little bit too cold all the time, I think. But there were other times where she wasn't, and it was a little bit inconsistent, and I just felt like I wasn't really sure who she was for most of the movie. Jude Law's character was pretty good. I love Jude Law. I think he did a great job in the film. He's kind of like her mentor. He finds her, he teaches her all of her powers and how to control them and how to be a Kree and all that stuff. I will say once she gets to Earth, which is where the majority of the movie takes place, this movie relies very heavily on 90s nostalgia. Like, there's a lot of 90s references and 90s jokes, and it's like, haha, that's funny, I get it, we're in the 90s, but it's like a little bit too much for me. I really don't think that it was necessary. It was just relying way too much on that feeling of nostalgia. It was also visually just not very memorable. I would say in general, there are a lot of things about this movie that are not very memorable to me, but visually, it doesn't really have a visual style. It's sort of all over the place. The visual effects were good. They were the standard for a Marvel movie, I guess, but there wasn't like one big, beautiful scene that I remember specifically. There wasn't anything really that impressive going on. But I think, honestly, this movie was just very sloppy. There was some rough dialogue. A lot of the time, I felt like I was watching a cheesy 90s movie, which I guess you could argue is what they're going for because it is set in a cheesy 90s setting, but she had some like really bad, like sassy comebacks, and like her and Nick Fury had some really quick banter that felt very unrealistic to me. And there were just a lot of like really bad jokes. Like, there are so many parts of this movie where they're making jokes, and most of them aren't funny. Most of them really took me out of it. There are plot points that are specifically written for the sake of a joke. There's one plot point in particular that is infuriating to me because it's really just for the sake of a joke. It's like this really big, important plot point, and it's just a joke. And it's not funny. I literally clenched my fists when I was watching the movie. I was like, no, you can't do that! There is also a really big continuity problem. I cannot talk about it right now. I will talk about it in my spoiler review, but there are a few continuity problems, but there is this one continuity problem that every single time it was said, which it was referenced a lot. Like, it wasn't like a small mistake. It was like, they just went in. And I was like, no, that's not even accurate. Whatever, I can't get into it, but sloppy. This movie is sloppy. It is a mess. And I was honestly just kind of bored the entire time. I will say there is a lovely Stan Lee tribute at the beginning of the film, and it made me more emotional than the entire rest of the movie, which probably says something. Also, needs to be said, there's a lot of controversy around this movie. I'm not going to ignore that's a thing. But I don't really care about all the agendas associated with this film. And with all of the Marvel movies recently, and just movies in general, I don't care. I just want to watch a good movie. If it's a good movie, that's great. I'm excited. Hooray for you. I want to watch a good film. I want to know that the creators respect the source material, respect the art. Like, that's literally all that I care about. I don't care about your agendas. And yes, this is a feminist movie. It's marketed as a feminist movie. They know their market. They know what they're doing. Its official release date is today, National Women's Day. Coincidence? I think not. But that's not really enough to carry a movie. She's a powerful female character. That's awesome. I love female superheroes. I love that we're getting more of them. But she's not very relatable. There's not really that learning curve that normally comes with a superhero film. There's no defining moment for her. She's kind of just this powerful warrior the entire movie. She suffers from Superman syndrome, where she's just so much more powerful than everyone. And this could just be a personal gripe that I have with the character, not with the movie, just with Captain Marvel in general. She's just too powerful. It's hard to relate to that kind of character. It's hard to feel for that character. It's also hard to worry about that character. There's no sense of danger. Through the entire film, I was like, well, she's gonna be fine. She's kicking ass. She is so good at kicking ass. There is no argument there that she could just kill anything. But because of that, I was bored. I was like, okay, what am I worried about? Nothing. The only other character in the movie that I would really be concerned for is Nick Fury, because he's a big character and you really grow to like him and he's just a really lovable person. But I had no sense of danger because obviously he doesn't die in Captain Marvel in the 90s because he's still alive right now. I think one way that this movie has really, really missed the mark in terms of like superhero movies and it being a good superhero film is that the best superhero movies showcase the hero being a hero. Not just being strong and beating up the bad guys, like being a hero. Saving people, saving civilians, like self-sacrifice, nearly dying in the process to save the world. Like, that is a hero. Like when Spider-Man saves the entire train and he sticks out the webs and he's holding on, he's like, "Argh!" Or when Thor is holding open the thing and he like nearly dies and he's like, it's fine, I gotta do this. Or when Captain America beats up that guy in the alley before he's even Captain America. He's just a small bean. Those were heroic moments. Okay. In Captain Marvel, I did not get that. I cannot think of a single moment in this film where she had some sort of defining moment that made her a hero. I got to see her beat up some bad guys. I got to see her use her really cool powers and explode stuff. And yeah, she's on a mission and she is saving people, but there's just something missing from it. All she's doing is beating up bad guys, and that is not what makes someone a hero. And yes, there are a few heartwarming moments, there are some good scenes, but there's not enough emotional pool to make an impact. There's never a peak. There's never one good, defining, strong moment for her. There's not one memorable fight scene. There's just nothing I can think of that's like, that was it. That was the peak. It just sort of rests on this line the entire time, and then it just ends. I don't know, I just felt like it was lacking. I felt like it was a bit flat. And I'm honestly concerned for her to enter the MCU. I am. The way that it connects to Endgame felt a little anticlimactic to me. It was like, I think every like Marvel end scene is always like, they reveal something or something exciting happens and you're always like, ooh! But this one I was just like, well, yeah, of course. Of course that's what's gonna happen. And I just feel like she hasn't earned the right to come into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and save the day. At least not yet. I think she can. I think she could get there, but right now I don't think she's earned that. And I think another problem that I have, this movie is so concerned with being a feminist film that it forgets how to be a superhero film. Honestly, Wonder Woman was better. Alita Battle Angel was way better. Those are some strong female characters that don't fuck around. I'm not saying Captain Marvel isn't a strong female character. She is a very strong female character, and I love that. But those movies are better. They're just so much better. If you told me at the beginning of this year that Alita Battle Angel was going to be better than Captain Marvel, I would have spit my drink out right in your face. I'm going to give Captain Marvel a 3 out of 5. But I do think you should see this movie. I think you should make your own opinion about it. I think you should try not to listen to all of the battling agendas on the internet. Just go to it with an open mind, try to forget about everything else, just watch it as a film, as what it is, because that's what I tried to do. I really wanted this movie to be good. I was really rooting for it, but it just didn't work for me. Maybe it'll work for you. I'm not super into it. So, that's it for my Captain Marvel review. I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about it. If you've seen it, let me know in the comments below what you thought about it. I will also be posting a spoiler review, spoiler discussion, not really review. Mostly so I can complain about all the things that I couldn't talk about in this review because I have so many feelings! Just dropped my microphone on the floor. It's okay. Just have a lot of rage. Okay. I think that's a good time to call it quits. Thanks for watching this video. My name is Steph Koza. Be sure to like this video if you liked it, especially because I feel like this movie's really controversial and I might get a lot of hate. So if you liked my review, please give me a thumbs up. Help a girl out, alright? And subscribe if you would like to subscribe. Not going to tell you if you don't want to, that's fine. Also, if you want to talk about this movie more in depth, maybe talk about some spoilers, maybe talk about whatever you want, really. You can join my Patreon chat room. We have a Discord channel for Captain Marvel where we're going to be talking all about it. There's a link in my description. All you have to do is become a patron and you'll be invited to the chat room. Easy as pie. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!